As we get closer to the holiday season, the biggest questions we get on Twitter is which smartphone should we pick, or which is better, this one or this one. And that's actually kind of complicated this year because companies have actually done a good job. They've invested hard in good camera quality, great design, and it's really hard to pick a phone this year. So we're going to try to help you out as best as we can with this video. I am Jaime Rivera, this is Pocketnow, and here's a quick how to choose your next smartphone for the holiday season. Now, the best way to start has to do with the platform. And in the case of smartphones, this is mainly a war of ecosystems. These companies want you invested in their platforms. If you already invested in iOS, your applications are not going to work on Android. So it's going to be really hard for you to move to Android, for example. Let's just say you chose an iPhone, which is what a lot of people are doing lately. Yes, Apple did a really good job with the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6s is picking that up. But this is a very interesting year for Apple, as really the iPhone 6s is not necessarily so much better than the iPhone 6. And given the fact that Apple is not really famous in bringing deals for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, if you're on a budget for an iPhone, I think the iPhone 6 is good enough. Now, bear with me. If you want 7000 series aluminum, which is the strongest aluminum out there, which is good for falls and bends and stuff like that, and hey, if you want the new Force Touch technology, then you're better off with the iPhone 6s. Also a better camera. But then again, the iPhone 6, even though without the 7000 series aluminum, even though without the better cameras, still has a very good camera, is still durable enough. And hey, Force Touch technology is not going to pick up until next year. A lot of developers and applications haven't really picked up on it. And the only phone we wouldn't recommend you get is the iPhone 5s, though even though a good phone, is probably up for a replacement or a change early next year according to rumors. Another thing to consider with iPhones, which is the most important thing, is please do not buy the 16GB iPhone. It is not enough storage. The amount of storage that you get left is very small. And then again, you have the biggest problem, which is the fact that the applications are rather large for the iPhone. Music is rather large for the iPhone. So yeah, don't waste your time on any 16GB iPhone. Instead of buying a 16GB iPhone 6s, go for the 64GB iPhone 6. That's a much better option. Now, in the case of Windows 10 Mobile, that actually is easier because there's only one phone to choose from right now, which is the Lumia 950. You're gonna have to wait for the Lumia 950 XL. And surely you have a ton of Lumias out there to choose from that will get Windows 10 Mobile. The problem is they won't get it yet, and they won't get all the features that the Lumia 950 has. Now, even though there's only one smartphone right now available, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as Microsoft and Nokia have been famous for a ton of things. Build quality, for example, snappy performance, but even more is the best cameras in the industry. You really cannot argue against Lumia's for their camera quality, and another particular feature that's coming not necessarily to Lumia's but to Windows 10 Mobile are newer phones, which is Microsoft Continuum. We actually have a full video from Michael Fisher showing you how to turn your smartphone into a full-fledged computer with a few accessories, obviously. But it's really a cool thing if you want to give your son a phone, for example, and you don't want to buy him a tablet and a computer and the phone. This is probably a good way to start for a lot of people. In emerging countries, this is another good way to have a full-fledged computer from your smartphone. Again, Windows 10 Mobile surely is in its infancy, but there are a lot of great things coming here. We have a lot of great expectations, and again, the Lumia 950 is gorgeous on its own. Now, the larger the platform, the more difficult choosing is going to be, and this is the case for Android. And Android is particularly difficult because more doesn't necessarily mean better. More cores, or more benchmarks, or more megapixels in the camera, or more display resolution don't really amount to great user experience. So we're going to try to narrow this down to a few categories, starting with those of you that are interested in great camera quality. Don't focus on the megapixels you hear from other cameras. That's not going to be the case. If you want great photos, you need great sensors and great post-processing, and the companies that get this right are LG with the LG G4 or G10 are Samsung with any of the top tier Galaxies like the Galaxy Note 5, Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, and the Galaxy S6 or Galaxy S6 Edge. We're talking about Sony Xperia's, whichever Z5, Z5 Premium, or Z5 Compact you're getting, or in the case of the new Nexus 6P, this is another great smartphone with great camera quality. Now let's just say that you want really good performance, but you don't want all those camera features and you still want a really great smartphone. This is a great year for that because we've got a lot of phones that are priced like mid-ranges but really aren't, like in the case of the OnePlus 2 or in the case of the new Moto X, which are gorgeous phones that are extremely powerful and just don't have the best cameras in the world, but then they've got a ton of other great things going for them at the price tag. And if you want to go lower than that, then there's also the premium mid-range, which are really great looking phones that, well, don't bring the cameras or bring a Snapdragon 615 processor, but are great designs and very power efficient. We've got the Samsung Galaxy A series, Oppo's R lineup. We've got the OnePlus X, which is probably one of our favorites. It's a really great looking phone that brings a lot of great things to it and just doesn't bring the specifications, but who cares if it performs really well? And again, it's got the gorgeous design. There is a ton of products that you can choose from, and we've got a full smartphone buyer's guide to actually help you out with that. Now, if you want to go any lower than that in the price tag, you can, but you're going into disappointment territory. The lowest we would recommend you go is the Moto G 2015, which is a phone that's got a lot of things going for it. But the problem is, number one, the Snapdragon 400 or 410 processors are not great. The other is because anything lower than 2 gigs of RAM is looking into bogging down a phone, particularly if it runs Lollipop. And if you get anything less than 16 gigs of storage on Android, you're looking into a major disappointment because Android is notorious for running out of space. Even if you have expandable storage, the problem is you can't really load your applications on that expandable storage, and it just continues getting more complicated. Bottom line, 2016 is a great year. We are very excited for all the smartphone offerings out there, but again, even though you'll find some great deals, not all of these will be good value. So make sure you follow the links in the description and keep it locked to Pocketnow, as we will have a ton of articles helping you not only find the better deals out there, but again, also the better value for your pocket and the best durable options for you to be able to use for the next few years. But anyways, that's it for this video. We've also got another one coming up for tablets and even wearables, so make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.